Do you look at Semrush toxicity score when buying expired domains? We do not look at Semrush toxicity score ever. Um, it's not a metric we ever look at. We have other videos on this, I believe, so I won't bash on it too hard right now. But we feel there's just uh, we feel there's a lot of like misunderstanding in the community as far as backlinks go, but especially these like toxicity scores. Um, it's better to be able to look at things yourself and understand that this toxicity, like in a way, like the way Google's moving now with backlinks is just to ignore the stuff that they think is like spam or like manipulative. It's not saying that you can't trigger manual review and get like link building penalties, but I feel like it's harder to get link building penalties now unless you're doing some like crazy shit. Would you say that's about right, Nick?
Seems that way,
Like I
yeah.
feel like unless you're like going crazy with PBNs and exact match anchors and just really going like
Yeah,
really
hard
hard,
footprints.
like it's kind of difficult to get hit by something, what and there not be anything else that's like contributing to this, like just like links alone. Um, but anyway, we don't look at SEMrush toxicity ever, not just buying expired domains. We're on Ahrefs, and Ahrefs doesn't have a toxicity score as far as I know, and even if they did, I wouldn't look at it. Um, but yeah, Nick, why don't you go ahead and tell them what you do look at when you're buying expired domains?
Well, first I want to say that maybe SEM, I'm not very familiar with it, toxicity score on SEMrush. I don't like toxicity scores. Chris knows, like what he was just talking about. However, maybe if I'm blanketing, so I'm using like Register Compass or Spamzilla to hunt domains, obviously I'm going to be going through a ton of data, thousands of domains when I'm hunting domains, right? So I need to find broad metrics that I can rely on, that I can digest from a broad perspective, and then I can dive deeper into them, right? The main ones that I like when I'm looking that up, and I'd love to use Ahrefs, but the way that the API works with that is just too expensive to do it. So for me, if I'm looking at a large amount of domains, domain data for the purpose of buying domains, the ones that I like to look at are Majestic, Trust Flow, and Citation Flow. Because I feel like I can give a decent marker there. Now, I don't take it very seriously. I don't care if I see something that's got an insane amount of referring domains and maybe some other interesting looking stuff like Spamzilla has a toxicity score. And even though it's wrong a lot, if I'm looking at all these different variables and I see something that kind of just catches my eye, then I'll dive into it a little bit deeper. So before I say just completely ignore that metric, maybe dive into it a little bit and see what you can find. But the only way you're really going to know whether it's valuable to you or not is if you know how to also inspect all the other um, metrics in conjunction with that one, right? If you're only focused on one thing, especially something that's considered a spam score, it's probably going to screw you up. Anybody that I've ever known that's come up and been like, oh, well, this has a Moz spam score of whatever, they didn't know what the hell they were doing. They were hoping there was like this, magic metric that just tells you whether something's valuable or not. And unfortunately, there is nothing like that. Even if you were looking at Ahrefs, which is our preferred, you know, data aggregator for the purposes of SEO. The first audit we did today was highly manipulated very quickly, more than I had seen in a long time. So, you've got to be able to go through the motions and actually inspect, all these different things. So I know it's not a very clear cut and dry answer, but yeah, if you're hunting domains, you need to be able to look at multiple variables from a broad perspective and then understand how to tailor that thing or those variables down so that you can find the domains worth buying.
Yeah, domain hunting is very hard. You have to look at a bunch of stuff and really understand it, and it's a lot more like nuanced and complicated than any like little
Mm-hmm.
score that any of the tools are going to give you. You really have to dig a little bit deeper and really know what you're looking at. That being said, check out Sir Links-A-Lot expired domains. We've got the best expired domains on the market up on our website.
They are so fucking cheap in comparison to anybody else I've looked
It's
at.
true.
And the reason is because like vast majority of them were collected a long while ago. So we've kind of just had them sitting in our archives, and they're priced from, you know, how they were priced years ago. Gosh, maybe I'll get in there and start upping prices. I don't know, guys. Might want to scoop some shit up. But on the real, like, I'm not tooting our own horn. We really do have cheap prices on quality domains.
All right.
I imagine if I was hunting more regularly now, you know, which I usually only do for my own personal assets, the prices are just ridiculously high, especially if you don't really know how to hunt for them, because a lot of times you'll find better deals on more nuanced metrics and variables that people aren't using.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching. Be sure to check the links below for more info on this topic, as well as other cool stuff like SEO case studies, our Facebook community, and our link building services. And like always, please like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Thanks, and happy ranking.